All right, LDBC, this is a quick one, man. This is your boy, the Coach Alive, on the Coach Show, the Coach Show Live. Okay, guys, I've had a conclave of people, ask me about this whole, Kevin Samuels situation. And I got to tell y'all that I didn't even know who he was, but, when I researched who he was and looked at what he was doing, Kevin Samuels is a dating relationship, expert advice, okay, giver, okay? He gives advice on dating. So he's supposed to be, quote unquote, a guru. So this woman, called into the show, and I tell you, man, I agree with most of what he said, but I disagree with his delivery. His delivery was like it was harsh, man. It was to the point where you're beginning to demoralize. And I understand, we on YouTube, when you give your opinion, you can definitely be very, very harsh and criticize. I mean, I do it. I criticize harsh sometimes. And sometimes I do have to take a step back and be like, hey, this person is a good fighter. She definitely brings a lot to the table. I mean, and I've done that on many occasions. But I think the way Kevin Samuels did it, man, it was to the point where you shut the person off and they can't listen to you now. Okay? Like, I understand you want to be truthful and you want to be, like, real. But when you're too harsh, or when you just harsh to the point, especially against when a man, like, real harsh with a female, they're going to stop listening. They're just going to tune you out. And they're not really listening anymore. They're just trying to save face. And that's what this woman was doing. I agree with what Kevin Samuels said. He said, listen, why can't you just date an average guy? Now, you had a lot of black women. They took that as, well, why does she got to date some broke N-word? Why she got to date him? Why does she have to date some broke N-word like that? And that's not what he said. He was saying that, he didn't say, like, go find somebody making minimum wage. Okay, he didn't say that. What he said was, look, find somebody who got his own stuff, got his own job, make decent money, not like the best, not like six-figure money, but he does well for himself. Find somebody like that. Find an average guy. Okay, you can find your average guy making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and they're happy. You can find that guy. He's out there, and I think that's what he meant. But it's like they took the man's words and they just kind of, they threw him around. They threw him around. They took his words and they threw it around and they spun it to where, she should go and just find some bum. No, that's not what he's saying. And if you clearly listen to what the man was saying, he was saying, just find an average guy. Because he said you're not going to find a 6'1" guy. You're not going to find a guy who's just well chiseled and all. You're not going to find him. And he said you're looking for that. He said, well, you're just going to die. You're just going to die alone. And he said that, what's the likelihood of somebody, a man with six figures that want to date a single woman, 35 with a 13-year-old son? And I concur with that and I agree with that. And I'm going to tell you, me too, I don't fool with women who got kids. I just don't do it because it's like you always have to worry about the baby daddy. Now, case in point, I'm going to tell you, I was dating a woman who had kids and she told me, well, me and the baby dad, we're not together anymore. He's not in the picture. And I'm going over her house, to hang out with her, watch some movies and do whatever. And something kept telling me, don't go in the house. And I told y'all this story. I finally listened to, my conscience telling me not to go in there. I finally listened. And I didn't go into the house, man. And so she called me an hour later, because she was cussing me out when I was leaving. She called me about an hour later. And she said, my baby daddy kicked the door in. And he came in with a shotgun. Now, could you imagine what would have happened to me had I been in there? So to that point on, I don't mess with married women. And I don't mess with married women with kids. I don't mess with them. Because you always got to deal with that baby daddy drama. And I just don't have time for that. But yeah. So I can concur with him on that one right there. Then he started talking about, if you women love yourself so much, why do you guys have to wear the fake hair? Which, I agree with that. But I just think that the way that he told her, gosh, man, it's, the way he told her, man, you can tell it was demoralizing. And if you're trying to give somebody advice, then you shouldn't be demoralized. You should, tell them the raw truth. But at the same time, I feel like he just kept digging and just looking for ways to just, really tear this person down. And that's not effective either. I mean, she heard the truth, yeah, but the only thing she's going to remember from that whole getaway is that you dogged her out. That's just what it is. Let's go to Cynthia G. Well, first of all, hold on. Let's talk about some facts. Okay, now, in Kevin Samuels' defense, he told this woman about 5 times that, look, this is not a day that I don't counsel anybody today. He said, please, if you want counseling, come back to me during the week. Let's set something up, and I'll be glad to talk to you behind the scenes. He told her that. No, this woman kept on insisting. And so what happened? So he just said, okay, I'm gonna make this a teachable moment. She didn't respect his wishes. She had no disregard. What she wanted was what she wanted, and I think that goes to be said, I think that he was within his right. And if y'all watch the show, I look at some of his other shows, and you know what kind of show he runs. This is who he is. This is what he does. Okay, he goes in hard like that. And I don't think you should be, he said that. Look, don't act like y'all don't know what this man do. Don't act like y'all don't know what this guy does. Okay? Don't act like you know what this guy does. Okay, please don't. Don't act like that. Because if you act like you know what this guy does, then, if you act like you don't know what this guy does, then, something wrong with you. From what I've seen, this is his pattern. This is his behavior. Okay? The man said he talked to you in private and you didn't want to do that. So, okay. How many people done made Kevin Simmons? Boy, Kevin Simmons done got popular. And then let's talk about Cynthia G. Cynthia G, she went on a tirade bashing black men. And she does it on a regular, but this time she did it to a point where I'm just like, okay, damn, enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. Like, she was talking about, well, I don't see, why she got to submit to somebody, that's not on her level and all this stuff. Well, that's why y'all single. That's why y'all don't get it. That's why women like Cynthia G, they're never going to find somebody meaningful. They're never going to find somebody just somebody that's going to want to deal with them on that level. They ain't going to find nobody like that. Cynthia G is a hustler. Okay? Cynthia G, she's a damn hustler. That's what she is. Okay? And, I have to ask, and Cynthia G was talking about, well, black men fake, black men don't own nothing in their community, black men can't do this, black men don't do that, black men. She killing us. I'm sitting here like, okay, you're not talking for the whole race. Black men ain't is, and don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody truly want to sit back and just keep listening to that. It ain't no black man finna take that stuff. Not from you, Cynthia G. They not finna take that. And it's funny to me. It's very funny, man, how she talking about somebody fake and, yet, she wears makeup, wigs, and weave. Like, how do you explain that? How can you explain somebody being fake? And you know what? I bet you Cynthia G, she always talking about white supremacy. And I guarantee you that she got white friends. I don't know much about her, but I bet you she do. I bet she do. There's no way that this person can't have white friends with all the stuff she keep talking. There's no way. And she talk about that. But then, okay, so if black men aren't doing anything about white supremacy, Cynthia G, what are you doing? What are you doing about it? You're just sitting on a YouTube video making videos. You ain't doing nothing. You're talking about it, but Cynthia, what are you doing? What are you doing to help the problem? You see, that's the reason. That's the problem with some of you insubmissive women. That's why men don't want to date y'all. That's why they don't want to do it. A man wants somebody who's going to be submissive. It is what it is. Okay? And honestly, it don't matter. Looks to wear off. Okay, you can look good and, treat a man like crap, and he only going to take that for a certain amount of time. He's only going to take that for a certain amount of time, I'm telling you. A man want a woman to be submissive. Want a man to be supportive. See, I didn't say a slave, but submissive. And, apparently, she ain't into that. So what, the man got to make more money than you for you to be submissive to him? Please. What, a man that make less money, he can't provide? See, that's not what Kevin Samuels was saying. He was saying it can be a man that make less money, an average man, an average guy. Women like Cynthia G, they don't speak for the black community. She don't speak for the black community. And then she was allowing people to call into her show. And this was crazy. She was allowing these people to call in. And one guy told her, he said, well, he said, man, I just don't understand why black women got to wear the fake hair. So Cynthia said, well, when as a culture have black men ever wanted, women to wear their natural hair? They don't even like it. And he was like, well, wait a minute. That's not true. A lot of black men like natural hair. Yeah, but that don't drive the culture. Well, should that matter? Cynthia G, because you don't wear your natural hair. How you going to explain that? That's about all I want to cook on, because I'm starting to get angry about it. I'm going to just let it go. All right. Peace.